What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Aiden here, and today I'm doing a little bit of an impromptu video. Before I begin this video, I just want to say that all my opinions expressed in this video and on every social media platform, including this YouTube channel, are opinions of my own, and they do not reflect any of the any organization that I work with. So, 2 executive orders have come out. Before I begin talking about these executive orders, I just want to say that a lot of these things will be fought in court. A lot of them already are being fought in court by GLAAD and some other, legal defense teams that are part of 501c3s and 501c4s. So there's room to be concerned, to be afraid. And there's going to be a process in order for these things to happen and really come to fruition. They could come to fruition. They could not. So this really weird waiting period in limbo. So I just want to get clear on what these executive orders are and my personal feelings about them. So the first one is our military ban. For all of you who were, of age, you will remember in 2016, the last presidency, we had a military ban. So this is another military ban, very similar in the concept of banning trans folks from the military, but more intense with the language used. So the name of this one is called Prioritizing Military Excellence and Readiness. And there's 2 big things. So I've read this executive order. The 2 big things that stand out the most to me is the following. So number 1 is that there's this assumption that surgery recovery takes 12 months and that people who get gender-affirming care surgeries will be on narcotics, and that's why they will not be excellent and ready for military service, which is absolutely absurd. Everybody knows that the average person recovering from an average surgery, 6 weeks, right? As far as being able to get back to work. Of course, that can be different on different surgeries, but the recovery isn't even what's mentioned. It's the narcotics. Everyone knows that if you've been on narcotics for 12 months, that's not because of surgery. That you should probably go see a professional for addiction because you may be addicted to the narcotics that you're taking. So that is one thing. The next is, honestly, that one feels just misinformed, right? This one feels just blatantly hurtful. And the concept is that you can't be trans and be honorable or truthful because being trans is a lie. That's what that means, right? So you can't be trans and be honorable and truthful because they feel that being trans is a lie. And so if you're trans, you're not being truthful because you're not going by the gender that was assigned at your birth, right? The sex assigned at your birth. So that's really hurtful for any and every veteran and currently serving military staff, right? The thought that you as an individual went through boot camp and training and all of these things and that maybe have been working for 5, 10, 20 years. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere around 70% of all trans folks in the military right now have been there over 12 years, which means they are, for those of you who don't know, you can sign up for, 6 years, 4 years, but to go back and to continue and make your career, right? Not a lot of people make their career in the military. So that's just hurtful. And I just feel a lot of sadness for the folks that I have friends that are in the different branches of the military, who are really fearful right now that all of their hard work is not being seen as equal to their cisgender counterparts. So we don't know what this means. We don't know if everyone's just going to be banned and everyone's going to be kicked out of the military. We don't know if that just means new people coming in will not be able to be there. We also don't know if it's just going to be like a don't ask, don't tell. So if you're trans, you're just not supposed to talk about it. So that's really difficult. So that's the military ban that's going on right now. The next one, so the military ban came out about a day or maybe 2 days ago now. And then the next one has come out, and there's just similarities in these two as far as language, and really using atrocious language when it comes to these bills, even in the title, right? Because by saying prioritizing military excellence and readiness and saying trans people can't be in the military, you're literally saying that trans people cannot be excellent and ready for combat. So the next one is our youth bill, I guess we would say it. So it's called Protecting Children from Chemical and Surgical Mutilation. That is a strong title, folks. That is something else. Wow. Protecting Children from Chemical and Surgical Mutilation. That is a title. So, also, just a side note, I am actively being careful about how in which I approach these situations, since, we don't know what is being showcased and what's not on these platforms. So I'll just stop there. So there's two main things that came out to me in here. I mean, the whole thing is pretty atrocious, but there's two things that come out. So number one is they use the terminology rapid onset gender dysphoria, which is a term that is just really not, it's really equated to being, what's a good word? Like, it's very cultish vibes. It's like, you join, you come out as trans and all of a sudden everything's terrible. It really erases the concept of awakening, of realizing that a lot of pain you may have been suffering from in your past life is actually due to your gender expression. So if you go into the archives of that language, it's really, again, the language and the language used in these orders are really clear on what is actually being said, right? And how people feel about, the people who wrote these, how they feel about it. The other thing is that they, in the actual order, they literally say that chemical and surgical mutilation, also known as, and sometimes referred to as, gender affirming care. So they are equating chemical and surgical mutilation to gender affirming care. My gender affirming care was not chemical or surgical mutilation. So that, yeah. So I just, the language, again, the language is what really gets me. I'm someone who gets really stuck on language sometimes, and words mean something. Words mean a lot of something. And so that's why the language in these orders are so intense and bring up so many feelings, and I think they're supposed to. But before I move on to some more feelings vibes, so technically that was just one thing, was like the language in this one. Rapid onset gender dysphoria and equating gender affirming care to chemical and surgical mutilation. But the other, I would actually say this is probably the first thing I should have said. It is not for minors. It is for ages 19 and under, which is very different than saying a minor. I think a lot of people, when we talk about minors, a lot of people are like, they're minors. Like, what should we do? How should we care for them? But 19 is not legal age. You are of legal age, right? Like, you're over 18. You are no longer a minor. You are considered an adult at 19. And so that just feels like pushing the end. I mean, all of this is pushing the envelope, but it's just like, if we think of where we started, right? Like, these orders are not too far off from where we started and what we knew or what we felt like was coming. But the 19 is what really stands out to me. 19. It just feels like pushing it. It's like 19. Could they have just said 20? Could they have said 23? Right? Like, at what point did they decide it was 19? Like, did they go to other things and then decide to pull it back and be like, it was just 19? That's what makes me nervous, is that if this goes through and the lawsuits don't work, is that just the is that the bridge to getting to just no gender affirming care, period, across for everybody, no matter your age? It's just like illegal to have gender affirming care. That is what scares me. I mean, whoops. Both of these things scare me, let's be real. But it's really interesting and extremely concerning. So, as you can probably assume, I'm upset, angered, sad. Yesterday, I just was like, the last 24 hours, I was just like a little bit chaotic. Just like one order after the next, and just all the feelings around them. So it is on my mind. It is heavy. People are being really affected by it, and that rightfully so. Like, I'm on both sides. Some people are like, we just got to keep fighting, and we just got to hold each other, and they can't tell you who you are. And it's like that. All those are so true. And also, this like sucks and feels really scary that like you feel like you are being attacked by your own home country, right? Like, and so that doesn't make you feel safe. It's hard to feel safe no matter who you are. If you are under the trans umbrella, like, what does safety look like, and how do you continue to remain safe? So that's what I've been thinking a lot about. Just been thinking a lot about safety, community, just kind of like just trying to get through, and wherever you fall on the spectrum of like, let's freaking go, and like, I want to crawl into a hole, both of them are very real. Very real. Just lean in to whatever one you are, because you might switch. You might be like crawling out of your hole and being like, let's go. And you might be so tired of being like, let's go, you want to crawl into a hole. So also just letting each other kind of have our moments and not trying to convince the other person out of it. I think that's the other thing. It's one thing to be like, it's one thing to express how you're feeling, to be like, oh, you're really fearful. I see you, I hear you. And I actually feel really excited about the possibility of what this could do for our community as far as bringing us together, right? And so if you're excited and you're, if you're talking to someone who's excited and you're the one in the hole, trying to bring them into your hole is not really the best, not really what you should be aiming to do either, right? Like, just be like, I'm so happy that you have all that energy because I have none, right? So I think that at this time, let's just hold each other together. Let's just remain a group. Let's remain a community, and let's see what happens. Let's see what shakes out. Let's see what the next few months look like. I'm not sure where I stand. I'm a little bit in the middle because I have moments of just feeling complete doom, but then the work I do and the community I surround myself with really makes me feel, okay, let's go, let's do this. So yeah, it's weird because I do feel like I want to share as much as I can while keeping the community safe, keeping myself safe. So I will continue to share my personal opinions on this channel. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. Let's spread the word. Again, you know, I've been seeing a lot of comments and like a lot of people commenting. So let's like build this community here. Like, let's comment back. Like, let's have conversation. I think that's one way we can start. All right, y'all. Well, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.